So I've been talking a lot about the need to have a crusade of salt and light in the church, the American church today. And if you are not a Christian or if you don't spend much time in church, it probably sounds like a bunch of stupid mumbo jumbo. So let me just plain speak this. And when I say this, you've got to understand I'm not saying as Christians that we need to vote for Christians for office. It's a nuance, and you need to listen to what I'm about to say. What I'm saying is that when in 2016, when First Baptist Dallas preacher Robert Jeffress said in more than one interview that he is not looking for some meek and mild leader who's going to turn the other cheek, but he's looking instead for the meanest, toughest SOB he can find to protect this nation, that in my mind, that's hugely, hugely problematic. In a churchy term, it's idolatry, or it's blasphemy that turns into idolatry when somebody like Robert Jeffress says, therefore, as Christians, we need to look outside of our faith and find some mean, tough SOB who's going to protect this nation, protect us. He's saying that a person like me who has spent my whole life listening to people like him, I'm somehow rendered inadequate, unable, inept, impotent to deal with the difficult problems, whether it's in the workplace, whether it's a high school student going out into the world, or if I was to hold public office. If I could be president, that if I hold to the principles taught by Jesus, and therefore hopefully taught by Robert Jeffress, that I'm now unable to do the hard things, to make the hard choices, the hard decisions. That is a significant problem. And it led many Christians to believe that they needed to set aside the principles that we say we adhere to and vote for a man outside of that who adheres to none of those things. And then some of those Christians went a step further and they tried to feel better about it by saying, well, Trump really is a godly man. It's a slippery slope. I'm not saying that Christians should vote for Christians to be president. I'm saying that being a Christian does not make one unable to serve in public office as the president. And that because of that, we don't have to set aside the principles we hold dear, that many of the people outside of the Christian faith hold dear. Loyalty, honesty, not stealing, not being cruel, having empathy, not lying all the time. Again, you don't have to be a Christian to be that kind of a person, a good person. But Christians compartmentalizing and saying that we needed some rabid, unrighteous pit bull on a leash to protect this nation is a huge, huge theological belief issue. And I believe that the preacher who preaches that, he preaches a weak Christ. He preaches blasphemy. And then in looking not only to Donald Trump as that protector, but then adorning him with all these other attributes becomes idolatry. That's why I think many of us Christ followers need to turn within the church and root this out. Shine light on the hypocrisy. Do something about it.